Let's talk about the Department of Education.
Yeah.
Should that even exist?
No, it's a bad idea.
Why?
Well, first of all, there are many reasons, but the first starts with the nature of education. No, I'll start with the constitutional reason first because it's actually very important, but it's not the most important. The Constitution of the United States lists 17 things, if I remember the number of paragraphs right, that the federal government may pursue in Article 1, Section 8 of the Constitution, and education is not among them.
Well, it says general welfare. That's what they're always... But sorry, go ahead.
Well, not there. It doesn't. Well, it does, actually, at the beginning of Article 1, Section 8. But if the general welfare clause meant that, then the rest of Article 1, Section 8 would be redundant, right? So, yet, in the summer that they were writing the Constitution of the United States, they were passing the Northwest Ordinance, which is one of the 4 organic laws of the United States, and it gave 1/64th of the western lands in the Northwest Territory reserved for only one public purpose: education in each township. Now, that meant that the federal government, in the biggest asset it ever owned, supported education through the states. That's the constitutional arrangement. It's not that education is not important. It's vital. It's just that it is not a federal authority for profound reasons. The second thing about education is it is inherently as local as a thing can possibly be because the learning is in each student and they need others around to help them. They need to be nearby.
So I'm just reading the constitutional. So these are the 17 things that you're talking. Is that correct?
Yeah.
And as they are enumerated here. So then how is it that the Department of Education withstood any legal challenge? How did we get to a place where we accepted that the federal government should have such a role?
You know, it was actually first formed in 1867. And it was called, at the outset, the Department of Education. And there was enormous pushback. And so they downgraded it to a part of the Department of the Interior called the Bureau of Education. And it was to be a clearinghouse of information among the states. No regulatory power, just gather up facts and make them available to. And it's defended on that ground for decades. And then in 1979, Jimmy Carter, who I read has a deal with the teachers union, elevates it to a department, and it actually goes into operation 2 months before Ronald Reagan was elected president. And every Republican since Reagan has promised to get rid of it. I think it's very possible that we've elected the one who will do it now. And it should be done because here's the numbers, right? First of all, it's a microcosm of what afflicts the most serious affliction in America. There are 23 million, round numbers, permanent civilian employees of the government, state, local, and federal. 11 million are in education.
Is that right?
Yeah, public education.
This is almost half.
Yeah. And of the 11, 6.7 million, which is more than half, are neither teachers nor teachers' assistants. So it's top-heavy.
You're trying to tell me 7 out of 11 million of the employees of education in America, publicly funded, are not teachers.
6.7, yeah. They outnumber, the non-teachers outnumber the teachers in public education. And, you know, Hillsdale College starts charter schools, about 100 of them now.
It's just incredible.
It's like, the ratio is like 8-to-1 in favor of teachers. Because you don't need all that, right? And a lot of that is driven by funding from the Department of Education, which directs a lot of the state spending because it demands that they do certain things and spend their own money on it too, and hire people to manage it, see. So you need to decentralize. The whole government of the United States is radically top-heavy and expensive. And so education is a great place to start. in reforming that because of the nature of education itself, which is you don't need a lot of bureaucracy to run it. You need focus on the classroom.
I'm just thinking. I messaged my team just so you know. As I said, commit this to memory. What Dr. Arnn just said. That might be the most powerful statistic I've heard in a long time.
Yeah.
I've heard a lot of numbers.
Yeah, it's
7 out of 11 million of the people in education.
6.7 out of 11.
6.7. Okay.
Yeah,
We'll be very precise.
last time I looked, but it.
But what are they? What do these people do? What are their jobs?
Well, they, shuffle paper. They make rules. See, you have to understand that you do understand the bureaucratic state is a different kind of government from constitutional rule.
This is the most important thing. One of the most important things I learned from Hillsdale.
Yeah, and it proceeds in a different way. I have 850 employees. It turns out, I hate rules.
Me too.
Because what rules do is they try to, something goes wrong, pass a rule so it doesn't go wrong again. Next thing you know, you got 1,000 rules. The right way is goals. What will we achieve together? Now, go do that. And the only rules that work are rules your mother told you. Don't lie, don't steal.
Or even the 10 Commandments.
Yeah, that's right. Be nice, stuff like that. And so in a free society, things work from the bottom up and people are responsible for themselves because you have to locate authority and responsibility together. And so if you move authority to a central place, people lose responsibility for their lives. If you return authority to them, they must accept responsibility for their lives, and then they can live as free people. So education is exactly like that.